Be a different person. Don't be a normal person, please. Let today be the last day you allow TV to destroy your life. Whatever you were born to do will not be given to you. You got to go and get it. Whatever you were born to do is usually behind a locked door, and you're going to have to irritate until the door opens. It also means that whatever you were born to do will not come easy, even though it is simple. You're going to have to be persistent and consistently insistent that this is what you were born to have. You know, people who have a passion and a purpose are motivated by trouble. They get excited by resistance because it gives them perseverance that builds character, that gives them the ability to stand in the midst of a storm. You can only be persistent if you are convinced that what you're going after belongs to you. If you're not convinced that it's really yours, you will get tired and quit. How long have you been going after what you quit leaving, what you quit going after? Why did you stop going after it? Why have you settled for less in life? Just because someone slammed a few doors in your face, you close your eyes and went the other way?
Because things happen to you in life that you can never ever anticipate. And many times when those things happen, you want to give up.
No, to be successful in life, you and I need to understand prayer. Prayer is not only passive, it is active. You pray in a place, but then you seek everywhere. That means if you can't start your business in Pennsylvania, you go to California. If you can't start it there, you go to New York. If you can't start it there, come to the Bahamas. You don't stop until you establish the business.
You got to do what you can with what you have.
Not because you fail in New York means you're going to fail in California. We quit too easily. Not because your ministry failed last month means it's going to fail next year. You don't stop because resistance comes against you. You keep going because God has promised you this thing.
See, I'm saying just keep moving. Don't start feeling sorry for yourself. Don't spend time blaming and talking about what happened to you. You want to make your dream come true, you got to stay focused. Some people rather get even than get ahead. Stay focused on where you want to go.
Knock and the door shall be open unto you. That means you keep on knocking until you irritate the person who's holding your stuff. In other words, a person who knows their purpose irritates you until you give up what you're sitting on. The same bank that told you no last year will tell you yes in 2 years. So you don't quit. You just keep irritating them. The same school which says you can't come into this college because you don't have the right degree, go and take some classes, then go back again next year. Keep on irritating them because why? If God told you you're going to get a degree, no one can stop you. Only you can stop you.
I remember when I was in broadcasting, when I was a disc jockey, I became very controversial, not only being a disc jockey, but I felt that radio was something that you not only entertain people with, but you also empower them, you educate them. And I got fired. I didn't just leave, they fired me. That was a shock. I said, wait a minute. They took my microphone. I thought that was who I was. No, ladies and gentlemen, it wasn't. I had to do something else. And I didn't know what else I could do. See, life had moved on me and said, Les Brown, you have outgrown this. It's time for you to do something else. Well, I wasn't enlightened enough. I organized some disc jockeys and got my job back. There's some people who believe it's their personal business to stop you from living your dream, all right? So you've got to be willing to stay focused, to be creative, to be relentless, because things are going to happen to you when you're working on your dream.
You ever seen a championship boxer, how they fight? I was watching the boxing matches over the years, and the champions of boxing matches are usually the person who you see in the newspapers or on television, and they're always smiling with a belt around their waist, and they're on the top of the people's shoulders like this. You ever seen that? And they always show you the picture of the champion with the belt on his waist or the belt in his hand. I mean, that's the picture you see of the champion. But they don't show you pictures of the 12 rounds and the 6 he lost. You know, championship fighting or championship work does not come without a few rounds where you fail. You know, because you fail in the 5th round, you don't tell the coach that's it. And some of you failed in certain things that you tried. Listen, learn lessons from life. The boxer who stands out there, his eyes are swollen, his teeth are all bloody, his feet are tired, his limbs are beaten and battered. You know what he does after the 9th round? He stumbles back into the corner, could hardly stand. You ever seen them do that? And I mean, they finally go, and when they reach the corner, just go, oh, and suddenly someone puts a stool under them and they sit down. And I can almost hear them saying, I ain't going back out there. Forget it. And the coach suddenly begins to do something. He's sitting there, his eyes are swollen, all of his head and everything hurting, blood everywhere. All of a sudden, someone puts a stool on him to ease his legs. That's the route to victory. And then suddenly, someone takes a sponge full of cool water and they squeeze it over the boxer's head. And that cool water going over his head, his eyes, his shoulders, suddenly he begins to come back to life. I call that the washing of water by the word. These principles are only a few that if you follow them, success is guaranteed. Study all the great men and women in history and see how they conquered life, how they made it successful through all the alternatives and all the pressure. First of all, what did they have? Purpose. That's the first P. They knew what they were born to do. Secondly, they had what? Passion. To be successful, you need to have passion for living. And thirdly, they had a plan. They had a specific, concrete, direct, intentional plan for their lives. And fourthly, you need what? You need people. You need the right people around you to be successful in your life. And number 5, you need to be persistent. That means don't accept no as an answer. Always interpret no as wait.
What I'm suggesting that you operate out of a larger vision of yourself. I want you to see yourself doing what you want to do, experiencing what you want to experience, having what you want to have, doing what it is that gives your life some meaning and value. Operate out of your imagination, not your memory. Because whatever you look at where you want to go, I'm wanting to warn you, you will have some conversation back here after you go through the data that you've experienced in life saying you can't do it. And so what you want to begin to do is ignore that inner conversation. When you get on track, I remember when I first got involved in speaking, one of the main things that speakers like to do is speak to a certain association that they have over 10,000 of their sales reps that come to this convention. And I was relentless. I kept saying, it's possible. It's possible. See, what I want to let you know and set you up for, because you said it's possible, don't mean that you're not going to have any problems. That Murphy's Law ain't going to come and slap you side the head. I was working. I kept saying it's possible. They got other speakers on this program. I can be on that program too. I kept selling myself. I got all fired up. And I was calling them every day. And the lady finally said, Mr. Brown, I tell you what, we want you to come in and talk to our sales executives. You got the kind of fire and guts that they want that will motivate them. And let me tell you something else. We want you to bring your motivational tapes. You're going to need at least $50,000 worth of tapes. I said, is that right? Yes, because they want to keep that drive alive. I said, all right. I called the guy to duplicate my tapes. I said, Don, how you doing? This is Les. Let me tell you, I got a major speaking engagement. I said, man, it's a speaker's dream. I need over $50,000 worth of product. He said, Les, you don't have that kind of credit. I said, I know, but Don, I can sell that. Just right after speaking engagement, I'll give you your money in 4 days. He said, are you sure, Les? I said, yes, man, I got a major speaking engagement, and they told me to do it. He said, man, that's a big order. Let me talk with the lady with you. I said, hold on just a minute, man. Call the lady back. Hello, Evelyn, how you doing? This is Les Brown. I got Don on the phone. What did you say? Do I have the speaking engagement? Yes, you do. And what else you suggest? Les, our people, they buy a lot of tapes. Your tapes are very popular among them. I'm saying bring at least $50,000 worth of tapes, Les. You'll sell everything you got and more. I said, did you hear that, Don? He said, yes. I said, now, if anybody else has to make a decision, are you the final person? She said, I'm the final person. I will send you the contract. I want you. I said, you hear that, Don? He said, yes. I said, oh, ye of little faith. Well, he duplicated the tapes. 1 week came by. I'm checking the mail every day. No contract. I said, come on, Murphy, don't start now. Come on, man, give me a break. Come on, you know, this ain't fair. Come on, man. Give your boy a break. Come on. I talked to myself, you know. I didn't want to call him right now. 2 weeks passed by. Murphy said, don't you think you ought to call him? I said, okay. I called. I said, hello, this is Les Brown calling. How you doing, Les? I said, fine. I said, Evelyn hasn't sent my contract out yet. Any additional information you need? So, Les, you haven't heard? I said, no. I said, Evelyn died. I said, she died? I said, did she say anything about me? When I got home, I was so wiped out. And Murphy was in the house waiting on me. Murphy said, is it possible you want to listen to some of your tapes? But ladies and gentlemen, here's what I had to do. I had to begin to focus on what was the solution. Now, this was not the only place that I'll be able to sell those products. And as I began to challenge myself and got some help and support and some other input, I eventually did. It took longer, but it was challenging. But I did it. Repeat out to me, please. No matter how bad it is, or how bad it gets, I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it. Shake somebody's hand on your right and left and say, you got that right.